Hi everybody, and welcome to this month's instructional fly tying video brought to you by the American Carp Society. I'm going to be your host, Brandon Turigny, and today I have the pleasure of introducing to you a fly that I personally came up with. I call it a Carp Mutation. I came up with the Carp Mutation by pulling inspiration from a couple different fly patterns that are already out in the market. The two chiefly flies that I pulled inspiration from is the Orvis Carp Tickler and John Montana's Hybrid Carp. So this is the Carp Mutation. This is what we'll be tying today. You'll notice one of the signature parts of this fly is the chenille tail that comes off the back of the hook with the feather tied onto the chenille. That's one of the trickier parts of tying this pattern, and we're going to teach you guys how to tie those type of tickler tails for carp flies. We're going to teach you how to tie those today. To get started, the first thing you'll actually need is a bare shank. You can use what I'm doing. This is a bare articulation shank from Fish Skull. These are the plain chocolate articulation shanks that I snipped the one end of it off, so I just have this clean bare metal shank. You can also use sewing needles. That works as well. And it might actually work a little bit better than this just because the sewing needles have a tapered end. It might be easier to use what you'll see us use that for. Next thing you'll need is this black chenille. This is smaller diameter black chenille. Pretty common material. You can find it in almost any local fly shop. And if they don't have it, just ask the guys at the shop. They should have the ability to special order for you any material that they don't currently have. They can order it from Hairline for you or Wapsi. And if you don't have a local fly shop near you, Amazon has a pretty wide selection of fly tying material, so you can find all this on Amazon as well. And once you get to tying, all you'll need is just a small little strand of this chenille. About that long is all you'll need. And you'll actually see in the video, you'll just tie it straight onto this initially. The next thing you'll need is some more grizzly marabou. Just like I used in last month. If you watched last month's video, I used this material. I'll be using this material again. And I'll be using burnt orange as the color that I'll be using. This material, along with all the materials you'll see be used today, comes in a variety of colors. So feel free to experiment with the color that you want to make this fly. Kind of tailor it to your water and the colors that the carp that you're fishing for tend to respond to. When it comes to hook selection, I like, again, these SL45 bonefish hooks from Gamakatsu. This is what I'll be tying on, and they do make one size bigger than this, in size 6. So if you want a little bit bigger fly, go with a size 6, but today we'll be using a size 8. For weight, we're going to be using a bead chain. Medium-sized bead chain using this fluorescent orange. They also Hairline makes this in a couple different colors. You can get just plain black. You can get gold. This fluorescent orange. They sell fluorescent green. And don't hold me to this, but they might actually have fluorescent pink too. So experiment with colors, even with your bead chain. For body material, you're going to want to use the Cohen's Carp Dub from Hairline. This is the Northern Lights black color, but this material comes in a dozen different color patterns. So feel free to experiment. Today, we'll be using this Northern Lights black. For some added movement, I'm going to be using the micro silly legs. You can use regular size silly legs, but I find these little tiny guys work really good for adding movement to really small fly patterns like we'll be tying. For a little bit of extra accessories, I would recommend getting a wire brush like this one from Loon. This wire brush will help spruce up your dubbing bodies. That way they look a little bit more buggy and they're not all matted down. You'll need a whip finisher, or if you're one of those talented tyers that can whip finish with your fingers, you can use your fingers, but I'm not that good. So I'll be using this whip finisher. And lastly, for thread, you'll see me using this 100 denier yellow fly tying thread. With all our materials gathered, let's go ahead and get to tying this fly. you.